Well, another nice, exciting adventure for our girls. They're going to run errands for our boy Rio over to Canada. Yeah, this should be interesting, right? Nothing bad can happen, right? Find out here on Nephilim Entertainment. What is up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm your host, Metron L. Thanks for tuning in, and this is my coverage of Good Girls, and this is episode 3, Borderline. So Beth, Ruby, and Annie are having to run errands, but it's not your typical suburban mom errands. No, it's illicit affairs, illegal actions, stuff like that. What could it be? Drugs, guns, bodies, prostitutes? Ooh, what a twist. Nah, we don't know exactly what it is right now. We just know that supposedly if they do this one errand for Rio, all debts are clear, they're good to go, and they're free. Or so we think. So everything's having to be prepared at home. Annie has a home visit from the child service people, basically to prove that she is a fit mom and Sadie's living in good conditions and that everything's all hunky-dory and she's an awesome parent. Which, for the most part, she is. I mean, she's... I'm not a parent, so I can't say anything, but for the most part, she's lax with her daughter, so maybe she'll probably have enough stability. I mean, Sadie seems like she's a good kid, so why not? And of course, we got Dean and Beth. They're trying to work on things, somewhat, maybe. All in all, what it basically is Dean's trying to sort of like snake his way back into Beth's life. And right now, she's just wanting to get separate accounts and get her life in order because she wants to be a big girl and take care of herself. Which, Miss Independent, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing whatsoever. And Dean, yeah, she had a thought about that before you was sneaking around. I don't care what you thought was exciting and fun. You're now paying the price. That's why they said if you make your bed, you are to lie in it. But, they're needing to try to find a getaway vehicle right now so that way it draws less attention. That way their vehicle isn't recognized as they're going through Border Patrol. Or if it pops up or if anything it's illegal or hinky, they won't have any residue in said vehicle. So Ruby and Annie suggest to Beth about taking her ex-husband's one of his vehicles. Of course, Beth says no. I mean, of course Beth says no. Yeah, but the girls they're not going to take no for an answer. Yeah, no, not whatsoever. They end up sneaking out to the car lot, stealing one of the vehicles, and taking off to the border. So, while they're getting all this taken care of and proceeded and whatnot, Boomer, that little snake in the grass, is a little salty towards Annie. No reason why, right? I mean, they only locked him up, threw him in a tree house, and threatened him to go to the cops with a picture of him showing his penis to a 11-year-old little girl. Other than that, I mean, he has no reason to be bitter, right? And he is like a hound sniffing around trying to find something, I guess, to hang over the girls' heads. I don't know what Boomer's deal is, other than the fact that I think he's just salty. That's it. I think he's just bitter because he got his butt handed to him by a couple of weak women, as he put it. But something else that happens that's kind of interesting. Of course, while Rudy and Stan are in church, Stan wants to give up and give testimony, much to Ruby's dismay. And apparently he wants to thank the anonymous donor for the cash that allowed their daughter to get the necessary medicine for her recovery. But some little hoochie takes credit for it. Now, Ruby is in a very interesting position right here. She can't exactly say, whoa, whoa, girl, no, you didn't, girl. I took that money. I got them pills. You didn't do shit. No, she can't exactly say that because then that would pretty much rat out the entire premise of the story. So we can't have that, right? So this little hoochie is going to take credit for it and get a nice little cop and feel of hubby in the middle of church and come over for dinner. Yay, right, Ruby? Yay. Is Ruby a little butthurt? Yeah. A little. A lot. But she's, I guess, going to take her lumps too, I guess. I mean, you steal the money and you deal with a man who's very grateful and very thankful. I mean, and you deal with some hoochie that's going to take credit for it because obviously your man is desired. You know, it is what it is. But meanwhile, our girls are off trotting off to Canada. Which I have to say one thing, something that really surprised me was Beth got cold feet. I mean, Beth has sort of been sort of the strong, sort of driven force of this little trio, and even she's starting to get a little cold feet by this. Is it she's gun shy, or is it just that it's this whole exciting new rush? Because apparently she hasn't had a job since she was like 19, and that was at McDonald's or Burger King, one of the fast food joints. Dairy Queen. I think it was Dairy Queen. Which, by the way, when they mentioned that, shout out the product placement, holla. So, yeah. Beth cold feet. That's interesting, to say the least. But they're here, and they're having to deal with a guy named Big Mike. Nothing about that is supposed to be intimidating, right? I mean, the guy looks like he's one squeal away from screaming and running away. Although I do have to say he's pretty extra paranoid and precautious when it comes to three suburban women pulling up in a soccer mom van trying to find out whatever Rio's got planned. They're there to pick up and deliver. Yeah, I can sort of see Big Mike's reluctance. So Beth talks to him, doesn't work, and he talks to him, doesn't work. Ruby wants to talk to him with a gun. Yeah, that's right. Ruby and a gun. Totally good thing. Nothing can go wrong except for the fact that she shoots Mike in the foot. Accidentally, of course. But still, comical. To say the least, very comical. Especially her look of, yeah, that right there sold the bit for me right there. That just, okay, we're done. We're good. Check, please. We're done. But they get there, they get to the Canadian border. Here's the part where we see in the previews. They had the vehicle inspected over on lane 3. Why is that important? I don't know, but I thought it would be interesting to mention. So they get over to lane 3, cops search the vehicle, nothing. What? No drugs? Nothing? So they pull over. They do their own inspection. What do they find? Wrapping paper. Christmas wrapping paper. I would be madder than hell. But at the same time, hey, wrapping paper? I'm cool with that. You want to get something that's out of date or get something that's out of season? Hey, I'm cool with that. The Canadians, they have all that kind of shit. I mean, that's cool. Until Beth unrolls the paper and discovers what's on the other side. Counterfeit hundreds. Yeah. Apparently, Rio, he's not in the drug business. He's not in the weapons business. No, he's into the counterfeit cash business, which, hey, counterfeit money is still a crime, but still, I mean, no drug residue, no potential chance that your kid's going to find something and set off a bomb. I mean, you can do that on the way to the grocery store, right? So, they deliver the goods. And I love Beth's tenacity, even though she got cold feet at the border. I love the tenacity. She walks straight up to Rio in the middle of a business deal, no less. Walks up to him, says, "Are we good?" He doesn't really say much other than to his business partner. She walks away, turns back around. She is so headstrong. She wants him to look her dead in the eye and say, "Are we good?" And I love the character that plays Rio because the dude's got a knack for showing smugness so well. I mean, you almost believe this dude is just cocky as hell. Like, he knows he's got a tight grip on him. He knows. But I think in a way, it's not so much his cockiness. I think, it may sound weird, and I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with it, because Beth is played by a very beautiful woman. I think he's somewhat attracted to that. A strong, powerful woman. And he looks at her with a smile and says, "We're good." Okay then. Business done. We're good, right? So they're going to go off to a nice little diner close to home and celebrate, right? Maybe like an hour away or so. Well, of course, naturally for these girls, Beth gets a call from Dean. Well, apparently the van's been stolen. Oh, so sorry to hear. The cops are here. Whoa, gotta go. Well, unbeknownst to the other two, Annie decided to sync up the phone to the van. Well, apparently not knowing how to clear the hard drive, they left evidence in the van. Great. Let's torch it. Set it on fire? What the hell is wrong with you? We will not do such a thing. What do? Drive it out to the middle of a lake and let it sink. Oh, God. Yeah, I don't see that coming dredged up from the lake anytime soon. I'm calling it right here. Calling it, making a note. That fan will end up getting dredged up at one point. Has to be. I don't know though, because I thought Bimmer was sure for dead after the first episode, but here he is, still being a hassle and being a pain in our asses. But anyway, we get a phone call. Apparently, oh God, apparently Annie missed her appointment with the people preparing the home visit, whatnot. She missed that. So she's having to race home. Now, I love how they do the nice little three-way story bit. They take each of the three girls and sort of give their own, like, little what's going on with each of these girls. You got Stan and Ruby dealing with their little marital thing. Stan, I love how they have Reno play Stan. He's got such a finesse about him. I mean, he can make sort of the most subtle act just so impactful. Because all he's doing is want to hung up his keys and get a little frisky with his wife, which he's entitled to, although she is tired. Poor Stan. But I love how he treats her with such love and tender for his character. I love that. I mean, seeing him on Mike and Molly and then turning out seeing him on Good Girls and seeing sort of the dynamics of his acting ability, really applaud him for that. And that's why I want his character to have a lot more of a story arc. But of course, he's held up the keys, wanting to prove to his wife that she's being silly and foolish about the whole being jealous of the tricky hoe. Understandable. Of course, the service lady is at Annie's house, and Sadie, applaud her. Good job. Sadie comes to the rescue. She prepares the house, makes it look all nice, neat, pretty. Although her and her mom really need to work on their lying bit. I'm sorry, but if you're going to lie to a government official of any kind, whether it be little micromanaging or big, get your story straight. Because apparently she's handling cancer-ridden mentally challenged patients. And I want to give a big props to Izzy, the little actor who plays Sadie. Yeah, that's right. A little boy plays a little girl who wants to act like a little boy. Hollywood. But I had to applaud him. He is a phenomenal actor. And I'll get to why here in a second. But in the midst of the home visit, Sadie gets hurt. She has been hurting. Cut her finger, stitches, whatever. And much to Annie's sort of like, oh my God. So with her being in between vehicles, they had to get a ride from the government people and a government person to the hospital. Okay. So, last but not least, Elizabeth. She is being smitten by her ex-husband while he is getting cold cuts from the fridge. Smooth, dude. Real smooth. But you gotta give props to the guy. I mean, he's trying. He's trying. I mean, he openly admits that he screwed up, blah, blah, blah. So, alright, we'll admit that. We'll give you that. You did screw up, and you admit that. I think a lot of what Beth is wanting to prove is that I think a lot of it's just the whole independence, take charge, sort of. I think especially with this whole thing with Rio, it's got her sort of the demanding kind of adrenaline rush. I mean, I think she's enjoying the power, to be honest. So I think that's a lot of reasons why she doesn't want to take Dean, because he seemed like he was always the one to make the big decisions for the family. Now Beth has been able to be in charge of her household, her life, and the decisions she makes for her family and her friends. I'm beginning to see that maybe Beth started getting intoxicated by this, which is apparent whenever later on in the scene, Beth goes to the warehouse where she dropped off the wrapping paper to Rio. Of course, he cleaned house and left, which is smart, especially if you're doing something illegal. He takes off, and she leaves one of her necklaces there. Calling card for Rio? But as we're getting back to Sadie and Annie, apparently Sadie is giving Annie the cold shoulder, which is to be expected. She did cut her finger. Her mom was nowhere to be found for a while, and she did leave her by herself for most of the day. The reason why I was giving Izzy, the actor who plays Sadie, so much credit was the line that was said, and I love this line, was when Annie was asked, where were you at, what were you doing? She said, I had something important to do. Sadie, with her back to her mother, head down, says, what's more important to me? Very softly, very sincerely, almost makes you want to cry. I'm just saying, that's why Izzy is such a good little actor, and I applaud his performance in this TV show. If that kid doesn't go places, I'll be very shocked. But lastly, we have Ruby, who, after everything's said and done, she she decides to do a little bit of turnabout's fair play to old Miss Trick, who wants to take credit for her deeds by giving a laundry list of errands that she can do for the kids and a little bit of errands that she can do around the house. Of course, Miss Thane can't exactly dispute that, because we both know that she didn't supply the money, and apparently she knows that Ruby knows. So, yeah. But the episode does end with a little bit of a cliffhanger. We have Beth pouring a drink. I don't know if this is to mislead the audience that she's doing it for Dean, but it's obvious who it's for. Rio. So, go on, girl. You got a little taste for the bad, didn't you? Alright, up next for Good Girls. Apparently Beth's going to be doing more work for Rio. This should be good. Which, I can see this sort of being the premise of the season. Beth pretty much being on beck and call for Rio. But I can see, if they play it right, her end up becoming sort of an entrepreneur, sort of maybe being a business lady, sort of doing some business on the side for Rio. I mean, I'm not saying that she's going to, be Miss Cold-Blooded Assassin or be his hitman or anything. I'm talking about, like, I can see her maybe doing sort of business on the side herself. Maybe and help him expand his business into the suburbia market. I mean, how often do you see gay people around suburbias? Not very often. So, and it would draw attention, but with Beth and Annie and Ruby, there's a possibility of them going into business and making some side money on, you know what I mean? But lastly, Boomer, that little rat, is going and snitching to the girls, to the cops. I don't know how he gets past the whole blackmail thing. I don't know if he discovers it was all facade, or if he's just, gonna throw caution to the wind and try to nail the girls for the robbery. But we'll find out in the later episode. But that's gonna do a wrap for me. Be sure to leave me a thumbs up down below, post a comment, and let me know what you think about the episode. Let's discuss. And be sure to subscribe to my page and stay tuned to the end of the video for more content. But last but not least, I want to leave you with a question up here. What do you think about the whole business dealing with Rio? Do you think Beth is in over her head, or do you think maybe she's got something planned? Let me know up here. But I'm Metatron Hero. You're watching Nephilim Entertainment. To all you daydreamers and creators out there, keep your heads in the clouds. Peace.